Hey, you guys. Casey Farlow here, registered dietitian and healthy hormone weight loss expert. And today I'm interviewing one of my favorite clients, Alexis. You guys, she is such an incredible inspiration. She's lost 30 pounds. She looks amazing. And most importantly, she feels like herself again. She was struggling with brain fog, fatigue, just couldn't even get up and go in the morning. And now she's able to wake up at 6:30, fully refreshed, and even opened up her own yoga studio, her own wellness center where she does massage therapy, teaches yoga classes, has the energy to do so. She's such an inspiration, and I really wanted her to come on and provide you guys, first of all, with hope that you can always heal. You have it in you. And she gives that inspiration and provides you guys with tips on what has helped her the most in her journey. All right, you guys, let's get started with Alexis. Like, what made you reach out to me? Like, what were you going through? What was your experience? What symptoms? I remember you had like endometriosis, fibro. Kind of give me a little bit about like what was happening with your health before kind of starting this journey. And I know you started your journey before we even worked together. But what made you kind of like make the call or like really decide that you were ready and willing to do the work?
Okay, and if it's okay with you, I'm going to start in 2017
Yeah, go
with
ahead.
this.
Yeah. You can give me the whole thing. I'm going to try
Okay.
to keep it to 30 minutes just so I don't take up your entire day. But yeah, you can go ahead, explain kind of what was going on.
Okay, so I'm 35 now, and when I was 24, I was diagnosed with endometriosis and fibromyalgia. And actually, right after Katrina in my really early 20s, I had Epstein-Barr virus. And
Same.
yes, well, it was such a big stressor and all that toxic mold. So many people got sick. It was that perfect storm of emotional stress and then physical toxicity of the environment.
Sure.
So, that probably really kick-started after Katrina, the chronic illness. And when I was 24, it apexed with the endometriosis being out of control, the fibromyalgia. And I have been on my own health journey for almost, at the point I got to you in 2017, almost a decade, at this point, over a decade. So I think one thing is I've done so much, you know, I was really ready to do whatever it took to see if it was going to work with you. And when I contacted you in 2017, I had turned 30. We had a very stressful move where we had to downsize with our 6 dogs and all that. And my weight, yeah, living in literally one room with 6 dogs was a lot of stress. And my weight just skyrocketed. My health plummeted. I was in bed at least every other day of the week, if not more than half of the week. It took so much. And as you remember, it was hard for me to like make a call with you at noon. Like I was just getting functional at 12, trying to even be functional enough to talk to you. Where now I wake up at 7 a.m. I woke up at 6:45 this morning. Like that, yeah, like that was not happening at all before. Like I physically in 2017, you physically could not have woken me up at 6:30 in the morning. Like you could have shaken me and I still would not have stood up.
Yeah.
um,
You'd be surprised how common that is too.
when I got my brain scanned at a med clinic,
Yeah.
my resting scan showed that my brain completely shut off at rest. Like it was overheating when it was active. And then when it turned off, it's like the computer, yeah. And it's like, oh, no wonder alarms didn't wake me up. Physically moving me barely woke me up. It's like the brain had shut off. And I think it's happening to a lot more people than it's realized because these brain scans are still new and they're expensive. But I think
Mhm.
one day that's going to be the diagnostic path.
Well, it's also like, well, what is your brain trying to tell you, right? If it's shutting completely down, it's so fatigued that it's shutting down. That means
Yes.
that you're probably spreading yourself way too thin and your brain is having to, and that's an epidemic, right? We have so many things going on. So I'm always like interested in kind of doing that deeper questioning of like, what is your body or your brain trying to tell you? Because when I have brain fog, it's because my brain has been overactive. And
Yeah.
why is it being overactive? Well, expectations of myself, putting unneeded pressure on myself, like all of these deeper issues that might need to be questioned is part of the healing process and part of what you've done.
Yes. And
Mhm.
it truly is. Setting healthy boundaries with my work life and doing the meditation to help your brain. I loved your tea kettle analogy that you use, where it's like the stress builds like steam in a tea kettle. And if you don't let that stress out in little increments, then you get your shrill teapot whistle of your brain exploding. And now sometimes when that happens, I see it. It's just like the tea kettle is just like, you know?
Like when you have a total emotional breakdown and you yell at your husband, it's like, oh, that's just my tea kettle. That means that I need to start paying attention to myself, and what my needs are.
Exactly. And you get to where you're feeling good and life takes over and you don't meditate for a week or something. And then your tea kettle goes off and you're like, oh.
Yep. Yep. Our body will knock on the door and be like, please pay attention to me. I need your support. And it's up to us to listen to those signals and then take action, which you've done so beautifully throughout your healing journey, which is incredible. Yeah.
Well, working the program with you. Well, hold on first. So in 2017, I came to you because I was exhausted, fatigued, brain fog all the time, terrible pain, no energy, weight gain. And I had started keto, which you told me wasn't sustainable, but I had not been able to lose weight. So I was like so obsessed. But you did give me other recommendations that I did listen to, like the supplementation you recommended, just some other tips. And that you were so fast forward to 2018, 1 year later, you were totally right. Keto wasn't sustainable. I gained all the weight I lost.
It's a harsh reality, but sometimes it
Yeah.
takes a little while for people to figure it out. But I mean, I have dietitian friends that specialize in keto and have a lot of great success, and it does work for people. I'm not going to completely knock it, but again, like you said, it's not sustainable. It's not something you can do forever. Eventually you're going to have the cake. I mean, eventually you're going to, and then it's that all or nothing of like, oh, then I had the cake. So now I'm off the diet and now I failed. So I might as well just stay off the diet.
Yes.
But it doesn't really work.
Changing that mentality was what I would identify as one of the key building blocks in my success. Because you explained exactly what I did. And I do think that, keto for people who are really overweight as a short-term solution is great, but then they need to switch to your method because you can't live your life. First of all, doing keto, my gallbladder got really pissed off. Carbohydrates store hydration in your body, it turns out. So even though I drink a ton of water and was adding the minerals, I got cellularly dehydrated. My gallbladder got overworked, and I was adding greens and doing it in the healthiest way possible. It's just not on the long term really sustainable. And what I always tell people about your program is like, you get to eat everything. There's unless your body, like my body, just doesn't let me eat a lot of pasta or dairy without starting to get like a rash or something. Like if your body will let you eat it, you can eat it in moderation on Casey's plan and still be successful, which to me is just so huge because like you said, you can have the cake. You can enjoy your life every day and not feel like I can't have. It's getting rid of that negative mentality. And your program also helped me switch from being like, I hate myself so much that I can't have these things until I'm this. And I switched to actively saying, I love myself so much that I'm going to make these healthy choices. I know, like, I'm going to cry. And switching that,
I'm going to cry. Oh my God. Like, that is the juice. Like, that is it. If you don't gain anything else, it's like, you have to love yourself every step of the journey or learn how to have compassion for yourself. Right. You don't necessarily have to love yourself but give yourself compassion and realize that you're only human and you're doing your best and you can love your body. And it's so beautiful no matter where you are on your healing journey, right?
Exactly.
Oh, that just got me. Oh, that just hugged at my heartstrings.
Um, it's the truth. Your program is so love and compassion focused. It really helped me break out of a lifetime of just like beating myself up and being negative towards myself, which like it just creates more negativity. And your weekly meetings and talking with you every week and adding that one habit. And Dr. Nicole LaPera talks about that in How to Do the Work, making one promise to yourself that you keep. And you do, it's like it's like a relationship with someone else that you rebuild with yourself, of making promises, building the trust in yourself, the confidence in yourself, and you make it obtainable. And then, you reach that goal that week and it makes you so happy and you want to reach your goal the next week. And, it's just really, and when I didn't reach my goals, and was upset with myself. Your compassion was just so incredible. That's something from the program. I tell people I could give you all the information Casey is giving you, but working the program, having her help you add a habit and hold you accountable each week, and then her level of compassion to talk you through changing your mindset about yourself, about what you're eating, about the, giving yourself another chance and forgiving yourself instead of saying, I ruined it, okay,
Yeah.
all the cake now.
Yeah. And it's like training that monkey mind and making sure that it's not running your life. And that takes practice, and it takes perseverance, and it takes not judging yourself. You have to let go of judgment if you're going to be successful. We have to stop judging ourselves as women. Like, there's so many pressures, so much judgment, and it will hold you back from the life of your dreams,
Yes, because when you're being negative to yourself, you're not nurturing yourself to grow. You're not creating that space to believe that you can do a little better.
Yeah. And I don't really know like where that comes from. I think it's just a societal issue, but every woman I work with just judges themselves. Like, I hear just judgment in their voice, and it's so upsetting. But it truly is like a daily practice to move through that and to have skills. And you've worked the neuroplasticity really, really well. And you have a yoga practice, and you meditate, and you do the things for your monkey mind, and you nurture that part of yourself, which I think is like the number one thing. It is the foundation of healing your hormones and your gut. And it's most often overlooked in functional medicine. Like, you went to the top Amen clinic in the world. Did they even talk about neuroplasticity? Did they talk about, I'm sure they did a little bit, but it's one thing to talk about it. It's another thing to practice
meditate. Right.
Yeah. It was like here, just go meditate. Well, what the hell does that mean?
Right.
And how do I do it? And how do I get started? And there's so many misconceptions about meditation too. It's like people think, oh, I have to have this quiet, silent mind. I'm like, no, like, you need to welcome the thoughts, notice them, and let them go like clouds in the sky. The thoughts are good. Those bring you back to yourself. Those bring you back to your subconscious. But then just focus on the feelings of touch on your feet. I mean, you can just move through that so quickly. I've been really getting into like Zen Buddhist masters and listening to them on YouTube, and it's so fun.
Oh, cool.
And but it's been life-changing for me, and it's such an honor to be able to teach you guys some of this stuff. And I know you teach it as well as a yoga teacher, and you're in the wellness space, and you're a massage therapist, and you're teaching this stuff all the time. So by healing yourself, you're able to have that trickle effect throughout your community, which is so beautiful.
And everyone can see it. Like my clients, they're like, oh my gosh, Alexis, you're just, you keep losing weight and you just look more energetic and better. And I feel like your program is it's not just easy to keep to once you build those habits. It helps you feel so much better. So you function so much better that it becomes a pleasure to live these habits and live this lifestyle because it's so nurturing. Mm-hmm. Even my husband, he's like, I love Casey. I love the healthy hormone habits.
I love that. It makes me so happy. I feel like I keep interrupting your kind of health story. So we had the fibromyalgia, the endometriosis, your brain kind of just like going haywire, which is very, very common. What was the shift? Like what started to like move your health in the right direction, you think?
Well, definitely a combination of things over the years, but nothing gave me as much focused improvement as working with you. When I worked with you in 2017, like I said, if we go to 2018, I looked back and I was like, man, everything Casey said was right. I'm
Oh
an
yeah, the
idiot.
keto didn't work out. That's where we left off. So the keto
And
didn't
the
work out.
supplement that you did recommend really helped my brain fog, my adrenal fatigue. Like I felt, it's like everything you said was so right. And that I think was a big, like, sort of shifting point. And then I continued to try to do things and I was just being unsuccessful. And I reached out to you. Oh, I know what happened. I turned 34 and my birthday pictures were so, like, I knew the weight was happening on the scale, but it wasn't until just that moment that I saw it. And I reached out to you like, I need help. And I think this time I came to you ready to do everything you said 100%. And it's
Yeah.
almost like, failing the first time set me up to come to you just really like, Casey knows what she's talking about. This is her life. Let me put myself totally in her hands, do everything she says, and see what happens. And what happened,
Oh, your sound just went out. Can you hear me?
adrenal
Oh, there we go.
fatigue.
There we
I no longer have brain fog.
go. Hey.
Yes, I can wake up in the morning. I function without pain. I have much better energy throughout the day. I don't binge eat at night anymore. I have much fewer panic attacks, and adding in the meditation is so key. I think looking at my weight loss through your program really shows, it's like I was losing about a pound a week,
Mm-hmm.
but it was slow go-ins, and on my period weeks it would shoot up, and it wasn't until I meditated twice a day that 1 week and I lost 10 pounds. Remember? And you were like,
I remember that call and I was like, I just want you to make this commitment. Just try it. If it doesn't work, it's okay. But really try the 20 minutes twice a day and let's see what happens. And you reported back the next week and you're like, all right, that definitely is the solution.
yeah,
It's just committing to that is hard, right? I mean, it's
it is.
hard, but it can be so worth it. I mean, I do 20 minutes of a body scan twice a day because it helps me sleep better. It gives me energy. It helps me serve you guys, which is really important.
Um, I actually, and I tell people, you don't have to meditate by just sitting there. I do guided meditation, and I feel like that's so much more helpful especially if you're a beginner or you're just hyper like we are, and your brain's just always going. It helps bring you into a focus. You recommended the Gupta program for me. That was the other suggestion you made that made such a huge difference in my health before starting this program with you.
Yeah.
And they're all about the meditating, and those are awesome guided meditations. And I go to sleep listening to the peace meditation every night. And it helps me. Yeah, I sleep better. I wake up better.
Yeah.
It's so awesome. And I wake up and I do soften and flow. So it's like you tell people you don't have to just sit there quietly. You can listen to help.
Yeah, you can have guided imagery or just focusing on your proprioception, your feelings of touch throughout your body. And you can carry that throughout your day. Like I can sit on this call and just think about what do my feet feel like? And you're just coming back to a present moment over and over again,
Yes.
So what do you think made the biggest difference for you? Like you joined the program. What do you think like were the few things that really helped to move the needle with your health, being in the Healthy Hormone Weight Loss program specifically? So after the keto didn't work, you started the program. What are the things that really you think made the difference that you learned?
Meditating twice a day, as we just covered, but I would list that as the number one biggest shift.
Right.
Because the other week I'd had a stressful month, got on the scale, I'd gained 10 pounds, got back to my meditation practice, lost that 10 pounds again in a week.
So
So
why
I
do you
mean,
think
really,
that was? What do you think
hmm?
is out of, what do you think that was? Like, why do you think the meditation helped? I can tell you why, but in a hormone perspective, like, what do you think the meditation did for you? And there's other methods to do this besides meditation, but what do you think it did for you that helped boost your weight loss and how you were feeling?
I think it reduces your stress and relaxes your muscles. And when your muscles are really contracted, they produce extra inflammation. And then that inflammation just gets stuck in your tissues and is just essentially fluid weight being created from stress and
Exactly.
inflammation.
Well, cortisol, your stress hormone, causes you to retain fluid. So you probably
Mm,
just let go of a bunch of fluid that you are
right.
retaining, which is part of reducing inflammation too. So you're right about that for sure. Anything else you feel like besides like the neuroplasticity kind of piece? Was there anything dietary wise that was different from the keto that you
Oh,
found to
big time.
be really helpful?
Yeah, several things with eating. I started eating within 2 hours of waking up, and I hate to eat early, so I just do a shake. And I have a berry blend with kale, so I get my, cruciferous
Cruciferous
vegetables
vegetables
in
are
on
always
it every
important.
day. Add the flaxseed for my hormones. I use a bagel one powder with the probiotics and blah blah blah, and almond milk. So. A lot of people don't like to eat when they wake up. So I really tell people, do a shake. Don't, you don't have to eat, but you do need to put something
You
in
can
your
put
body.
protein in your coffee, a
Yeah,
protein shake in your coffee. This is not the best example, but I mean, putting some kind of protein or fat like MCT oil or coconut oil. That's why I like the butter coffee. If you're not eating breakfast, it's a good way to stabilize your blood sugar. So there are options, even if you don't want to eat breakfast, right?
right. And to that point, thinking of my meals in PFF, protein, fiber, fat,
Mm-hmm.
I feel makes a huge difference for brain fog and energy level. I realized that part of my brain fog and tiredness was I was just friggin' hungry.
You had blood sugar instability. That alone will cause brain fog for sure.
Big time. And I was functioning all day on very little food because my stomach hurt, because I was having a bunch of sinus and allergy stuff, which is something you helped me with in 2017 to reduce just sort of like my mucus level. So it's like you got my stomach to quit hurting all the time. So then it was possible to eat a little bit more. And I still don't like to eat heavily. Doing massage is physical, but I use your PFF, I use your snack list, and I tell people, especially teachers, people who are busy, eat a bunch of snacks.
Mm-hmm.
Just eat, and I get the portioned out Tupperwares, and put apples with some cashew butter and some nuts. Make a PFF snack pack. And
Oh,
I
that's
just make
such a great
several
idea.
different grab and go snack packs. So then when I leave for work, it's like, oh, here's my peanut butter and apples. Here's my tuna fish salad and like Triscuits and something else. And you have these different snacks that you can eat throughout the day. And it keeps my energy up. It keeps my mood up. It keeps the pain away, because when you don't have enough fuel and your blood sugar's crashing, you start to hurt, you're dizzy, you're just having to like push through.
Mm-hmm.
And giving myself that fuel, PFF every 3 to 4 hours throughout the day. And then that is what fixed the binge eating in the evening problem.
100%.
Yeah, it was like by proxy, then I didn't even have to like stop trying to overeat. I just did, because I wasn't actually starving and just blocking that awareness.
Right. I love that you're also teaching like your friends and colleagues about this stuff. Like I love the trickle effects that this knowledge can kind of go, it's so incredible.
Thank you.
Well,
Well, yours
Alexa,
is so
yeah.
phenomenal. The program is so phenomenal. Like I, just opened Bliss Wellness, and I'd really love to do like a satellite group with you through
Yeah.
them. Or yeah, what you're teaching is, I mean, it's obtainable. It makes your life better. You lose weight without even trying. I didn't increase my exercise. In fact, I decreased my exercise, which was the last surprising thing I learned from you, which was pushing myself when I felt miserable and didn't have any food in my body, was actually making me gain weight and probably increasing my cortisol,
No, for sure. Well,
and learning that when it doesn't feel good.
what would you tell a woman that was on the fence? They're thinking about joining the Healthy Hormone Weight Loss program. They're like, I don't know if right now is a good time, or I'm not really sure. I don't know if I trust Casey, which is understandable. What would you tell them to maybe convince them, or not convince them for that matter, that this would be a good fit for them?
Well, I have been working with alternative medicine practitioners for 11 years, and no one has ever given me the kind of results, the variety of results, and the sustainability of results that your program has. It's so true, girl. What you're doing is life changing, and I tell people, no matter how much it costs, it gives you your life back. It gives you your body back. Like, you can't, that's priceless. And, if it comes out to a little over $100 a week, if you look at what you spend on coffee or clothes, it's likely you're spending really close to that in some sort of disposable income area, that it is worth taking the 3 months of diverting that money into yourself, into investing into yourself, and to giving your body the tools it needs to not just survive, but thrive.
Right. So you've been out of the program for months now, and you're still implementing all of the things. Like, when did you stop the program? It was December, and you're still like maintaining your weight loss and feeling really good because you have all the tools, like you have, and you're continually building the tools in your toolkit, which is really invaluable in my opinion. I watch my modules all the time. Like, I listen to myself. I listen to my body scan because I'm like, I love it. It works,
Yes, absolutely. I do too. I go back through and I read the stuff and like, oh, what did Casey say about that? And
no, for sure,
for sure. All things when you look over it, because it is a lot, but it's not a lot the way you present it and the way you help us implement it week by week.
Thank you. Well, Alexis, it's such a pleasure. I can't even tell you how incredibly proud I am of you. You've done such incredible work, and you can even plug your business. I know you just opened up Bliss Wellness, which is incredible. Tell me about your business, because we haven't even talked about it really.
Yes. And I'd like to say, like, without your program, there's no way I would have the energy and ability to work the way we've been working to get this place off the ground. I started with you even just a year and a half ago. Like, it was a struggle to work 4 days a week. Now I'm working 6 days a week. Now, some of those days I'm just teaching 2 yoga classes, so I'm not working, unhealthy.
Because you have to have good boundaries, so you know that.
Right. Yeah. And I've directed all my clients to my work phone. I turn it off at a certain time. I've said, I put a public post like, you can text me, but I will not respond until business hours.
I saw that. I was very proud of you.
Thank you. And you know what? It inspires other people to set healthy boundaries. You think, oh, if I set these boundaries, people are going to hate me. They're going to think I'm mean. No, they're like applauding you and saying, yes, I need to do that for me too. And yeah, Bliss Wellness, it's a center where it's beautiful. We bring ocean meets earth elements to help you relax and support your health. We have low sugar protein shakes, caffeinated teas from like an herbal tea source with vitamins in it up front. That's my husband's area. And then I have massage and yoga, and we'll be starting to online stream hopefully in August.
Oh my God, that's so exciting. And where are you guys located?
We are in Macomb, Mississippi, a tiny little speck in South Mississippi.
Nice. I know I have people that follow me from Macomb because all the South states, I have a lot of folks from there. So, well, Alexis, it's been such a pleasure. I'm so proud of you. And I know you're going to inspire so many with your story. So thanks so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for being here, for all your help, and for changing my life.
Aw, mwah.